When you're ready, Barb. During the trial of State of Iowa versus Zachary Cohn, Brandy Harris was called as a witness. Brandy Harris is the mother of defendant Cheyanne Harris. Ms. Brandy Harris requested in that trial, which was also being covered by the media live, that she not be photographed or videotaped. However, she had no objection to her audio testimony being broadcast. A hearing was held after an objection was leveled by one of the local television stations asking that her image be broadcast. Deputy Reed Palo testified based on investigations he had done that Ms. Harris had received death threats through social media and was still concerned about her safety. Following the submission of that testimony, the news outlet and its reporter withdrew their objection, and her testimony was broadcast through audio testimony only, with none of her images being broadcast. Is that a correct statement, Ms. Timmons?
Yes, sir.
And Deputy Palo, is that your Deputy Palo is present? Is that also your recollection?
Yes, Mr. Honor.
All right. The court finds no reason at this time to change its ruling. Is Ms. Harris making that same request, Ms. Timmons?
She is.
I do have members of the media here. I note that the expanded media coordinator is not here. However, Mr. Reinitz, on behalf of the Waterloo Courier, is. Mr. Reinitz, do you know of anybody within the media pool that's requesting that Ms. Harris's image be broadcast despite her death threats? Okay. So we will proceed, and I'm going to ask all media not to photograph her. Audio can be used, but the same way we've been handling it with the jurors coming in. I see no reason why the cameras can't be focused on counsel and questions be done that way. So you're not looking at a blank ceiling. Do you have any objection to that, counsel? Mr. Timmons or Mr. McAllister? I know you don't want to, but I'm not. And Mr. Hawbaker? Or we can focus on the court reporter if we'd rather go that way. No? All right. So we'll go off the record. Grace, is that understood?
Mr. Jordan, and we will allow your order.
Thank you. All right. We can bring the jury back in. I was going to address this earlier and I forgot, but Marilee brought it to my attention that you have also noticed that there is a camera in the hallway that is videotaping as you're walking in. Yesterday, Ms. Wong, from the producer from Court TV, asked me if they could place a camera there for the sole purpose of videotaping the defendant coming into the courtroom. The only person being videotaped on that camera is the defendant. They are not allowed normally to videotape on the fourth floor, but they could videotape anywhere else within the courthouse without restriction. I'd have no authority on that. So we had an agreement with them that they would set their camera up to videotape the defendant only. Ms. Wong, can you confirm that for me, please?
Your Honor, I will confirm that the purpose of the camera is to photograph the defendant. However, the attorney is also shot.
But the jurors will never be photographed.
Yes, correct. The jurors will not be photographed at all.
Sir, do you have a question?
Well, when we walked by, I turned around and looked, and the jurors that were behind me were on this little street.
But
Getting it shut off and turned on or something.
But the camera's not videotaping. Is that correct, Ms. Wong?
Correct. They're not being recorded.
Right. They're under strict court order not to ever photograph you, and they will not do so.
I didn't know if that was being recorded since they were on the street.
I think they understand that there would be ramifications if they did. Okay? Is that correct, Ms. Wong? You can still see the picture on the camera, but that doesn't mean it's not being broadcast.
Correct. We're not using the videotape at all until after the trial's over.
Right. Okay. Any other concerns? All right. Over here. Right here.
Sorry, they're all laid out different.
Fine. Raise your right hand. You promise testimony you're about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Have a seat. Ms. Timmons?
Judge, let me correct something real quick. Ms. Wong said we're not using that video right now anyway. We won't use it afterwards. But in that video, you are not videotaping the jury.
Correct, we are not videotaping the jury.
And you won't have,
And the defendant's video is not being used at all until after the trial.
Right.
I think there was a misunderstanding when you said it that way, that maybe they thought you had it, you just weren't going to use it till later.
No.
Okay.
right, you don't even have any tape of the juror. You just saying you're not going to broadcast anything of the defendant until a later date.
Correct.
Right.
But I'll verify that none of the jurors can vote.
For our protection, can we have you turn that camera so it doesn't point at that door when we exit or enter?
Yes.
It would probably make us all feel better if we walked by there and it just pointed somewhere.
Agreed, Ms. Wong?
Waiting when we just left the courtroom now that we're not on his camera right now on this last exit entrance we came back in. Do you know that?
I mean, I wasn't out there for sure, but those are the instructions that we don't photograph the
Well,
jury.
can someone check?
Okay, we will. We'll verify that at the break, but that's been my complete understanding, and they've been very cooperative in following my rules throughout. Okay. I mean, from the very beginning, before they were allowed to broadcast anything within this trial, the number one thing is no photographs, video, audio could be taken of any of you, either in the courthouse or outside the courthouse. And in the 11 years I've been doing this with media coverage, I've never had anyone violate that rule. Okay? Intentionally. All right. I mean, I am very, very concerned about that, and it is my utmost priority to protect your privacy, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Timmons?
Would you please state your name?
Brandy Harris.
Ms. Harris, where do you live at?
In Osage?
Is that Iowa?
Yes.
Do you work?
Yes.
Where do you work?
On a factory.
How long have you done factory work?
3 years, most of my life.
Do you live with anyone at your home?
With my family.
Are you originally from the Osage area?
No, Mason City area.
Right, your daughter is Cheyanne Harris, correct?
Yes, it is.
And just to be clear, that you're here today because you received a subpoena from the state, correct?
Yes.
It wouldn't have been your choice to be here.
Not in this capacity, no.
How old is Cheyanne?
She's 21.
You have 2 grandchildren from Cheyanne?
Yes, I do.
What are their names?
I have Nolan and Sterling.
And who is Nala and Sterling's father?
Zach Cohen.
Zach Cohen?
Yeah.
Could you speak up?
I'm sorry. So they start tearing up, they get a little quieter.
And just tell me if you break.
Okay, thank you.
What is your current relationship with Cheyanne?
Couple visits, calls, texts. Right? Although it's outdated now.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said writing, but that's kind of outdated when you can do the other things.
When Cheyanne was pregnant with Sterling, did she live with you during some of that time?
Towards the end, yes.
Towards the end of the pregnancy?
Yes.
And where was she previous during the first part of her pregnancy?
She was in the area when she found out she was pregnant, notified us, and then she had moved to another state for a period of time and then flew back 2 weeks before she gave birth.
And when she moved to another state, she moved with Zach Cohen, correct?
Yes.
She rode in the truck with Zach?
Yes.
Can you say what the last few weeks of the pregnancy she flew back and stayed with you?
Yeah.
And she had Nala at the time, correct?
Yes.
Nala was there with you?
Yes.
Were you present at the birth of Sterling?
No.
Can you tell us how you found out about that?
I was at work and received a phone call from Zach that she had given birth at a friend's house, and I went directly over there.
So Zach called you at work and told you that Cheyanne had given birth at a friend's house?
Yes.
And you left work and went where?
I went to the friend's house because the ambulance hadn't gotten there yet. I was only like 2 blocks away where I worked.
And when you got there, you saw Sterling for the first time?
Yes.
And he was fine?
Well, yeah, apparently it seemed to be, but I was freaking out because he was in a bathtub and just been born there, so I kind of wanted the ambulance there ASAP.
The ambulance came?
Yes.
Took everyone to the hospital?
Yes, they did.
How long did Cheyanne and Sterling stay in the hospital?
The first hospital, they moved them from, they were only there a short period of time and moved them to a larger hospital. And that, they stayed there for a couple days.
And did you know this friend, this person's house that they were in?
In passing, yeah. Not real well. It wasn't like we were best buds.
When Sterling was discharged from the hospital, were there any concerns about his health?
No, not once he was discharged. Previous to that, they thought that he had maybe gotten some water in his lungs, and they were concerned about his breathing. But once he got up to the second hospital, they put him in the incubation for a while and kept an eye on him and then released him.
And he was released with a clean bill of health?
Yes.
Now, after the birth and after leaving the hospital, did Cheyanne come back to your house?
Yes, she did.
Right. With Sterling and Nala?
Yes.
And did you, in fact, take Sterling to the first doctor visit?
Yes, I did. It actually was the day after that they were released. The doctor that had been the first doctor wanted to see him and do a little check on him.
So he was released from the hospital at what, 5, 6 days old?
I don't remember exactly how old. I'd say a couple days younger than that. I don't think they stayed that long.
And the day after he left the hospital, you took him into the doctor for a well-being check?
Yes, because Cheyanne had hemorrhaged and she still wasn't strong enough to be up and about and things like that.
When you took Sterling to the doctor, was everything fine?
Yes.
Okay. The doctor said he was healthy and no problems?
Yes.
How long did Cheyanne and Sterling and Nala stay with you after Sterling was born?
I'm not sure the exact timeline. I could guess a short period of time, and then they moved with Zach because Zach wasn't allowed at my house.
So you believe that she stayed there a short period of time?
Yes.
Are we talking a week, 2 weeks?
Probably like a week or two, just so she was feeling better.
And you said Zach wasn't allowed at your house.
No.
Your boyfriend or husband?
Fiance.
Fiance did not get along with Zach, is that right?
No. And that was based on reasons for the past history with Cheyenne and stuff. Cheyenne and stuff.
You didn't like Zach either?
No, I did not.
All right, but after a week or so, probably she moved out with Zach, correct?
Yes.
Where did they go to?
I can't remember if it was immediately to Alta Vista apartment or if it was a couple weeks someplace else. I don't recall exactly. It's been a while, and on top of that, this is kind of...
Did they stay in hotels for a while? Motels?
I know at one point in time they did. I can't remember if it was after Sterling was born or before.
And at some point they ended up in the apartment in Alta Vista?
Yes, they did.
Did you ever go to that apartment?
To the outside of it.
And what do you mean you went to the outside of it?
Zach kind of felt the same way about us as we did him.
So you weren't welcome there by Zach?
No.
Why were you on the outside of the apartment?
To pick up the kids for visits and things when I got them.
You would take care of the kids sometimes?
Yes.
And even though you weren't in Cheyenne's home, you still continued to talk to her on the phone and text and things like that, correct?
Yes.
Prior to Sterling's death, how many times did you take care of Sterling?
I think what I gathered from pictures was about 4 or 5 times.
And fair to say that was through the months of June and July?
Yes, and that was I based it on pictures because I didn't know that any of this would be important. You know, how many times I had him overnight, or how many times I just saw him, or you know, any of that stuff.
But going back through some of your old photographs, you were able to tell that...
About 4 or 5 times.
You watched him 4 or 5 times, correct?
Yes,
What kind of
sorry.
baby was Sterling?
He was a happy baby.
Did he cry much?
He kind of fussed more.
When you say kind of fussed more, what do you mean?
He'd kind of grumble a little bit and scrunch up his nose, and then he knew he was kind of hungry. He never had to get to a chance to scream or yell a whole lot.
Or he'll what?
He wasn't much of a heavy crier. Like, you know, some kids, you know, they automatically get to that really angry stage, you know, and he was more of a baby that, you know, he'd start fussing and he knew that he needed, you know, something at that point in time.
He gave you a little warning before you went to the screen.
Yes.
Enough time to change the diaper, get a bottle.
Yes.
Go ahead and pull the microphone a little bit closer. If I'm having trouble hearing, I'm concerned.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you're all right.
Can your chair slide up a little bit more?
Okay.
When you took Sterling, did you watch him at your house?
Yes.
Would you have him for a few hours, a few days? How did that work?
It depended on what was going on at that time, you know, whether I got him and Nala overnight, and I never took just one. It was always both of them. So, you know, if we had something going on, I'd take him for like the day, or take him for overnight, you know. I always preferred overnight because I just liked as much time as I could get because my grandma.
You liked having the kids at your house.
Yes, I did.
What was Sterling's feeding schedule?
When he was hungry,
How often was that?
it varied. It was just whenever he wanted a bottle, he'd let you know, and you just fed him. I never, you know, figured I needed to wake him up every 2 hours or any of that stuff.
Did he have any problems eating?
When he was first born, he did. He had issues with sucking in his bottom lip and latching onto the bottle. But that went away quickly. He figured that out. Once he pulled out his lip, he figured he'd have more food out of that.
And when you say that went away quickly, that went away.
It was like the first week or 2, and then he was able to latch on fine.
And no problems after that?
No.
So he ate fine.
Yes.
Did he eat a lot?
Basically what any other child does, you know. He ate about 4-ounce bottle at that time, you know, just depending on whether it was his morning feeding or whether it was his night feeding or whether he was just wanting a snack, you know.
And you've raised your own children, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And from what you're saying, it was just a normal baby eating at normal feeding times?
Yes.
What about his diapers? Did he have normal diapers?
Yes.
No issues there?
As far as going to the bathroom and stuff, no.
On any of the times that you cared for Sterling, did you ever see any health issues with him?
As far as health issues, no, I didn't see any health issues.
Was there a time that you observed a diaper rash?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, that was when he first come home. He had a mild diaper rash. Wasn't really healing up. We changed diapers and wipes because now I've been allergic to certain wipes, and Cheyanne had as a child. So, you know, we tried those and then used the med on it and stuff and changed out the wipes, and it went away. It got better. So.
So if you used the right wipes, it was fine.
Yes.
Did you use things like A&D ointment and stuff?
Yeah, ball necks, things like that.
And doing those things, you said it was right away that happened. So was that when Cheyanne was still at your home?
Well, it was within. The timeline on things along those lines is harder for me because it kind of seems like, even though it's only a couple months, to me that's kind of all you had. So, looking back at it, I guess I kind of drag it out a little on timelines.
And that's fine. During during one of this time when you saw this diaper rash, did you talk to Cheyanne about it?
Yes, we had conversations about it.
And she seemed well equipped to be able to deal with that?
Yes.
In regards to Nala, Cheyanne raised Nala herself, didn't she?
Well, she was with Zach.
Correct, but she had Nala in her care when Nala was an infant?
Yes.
So she had all the training
Well,
of how to take care of the baby?
yeah, during Nala's, when Nala was little too, she'd call mom when she had a question or something like that, because every mom does that when they first have their first baby and stuff.
Right. And Cheyanne would call you to ask
Yes.
questions and what
Yes.
to do and things like that?
Yes.
During June and July, when you watched Sterling at your house, did you notice that he was growing?
He'd switched sizes from newborn to 0 to 3 month. He still wasn't getting chunky but he was growing and he ate well and things like that. So and he was active, so I wasn't concerned. I figured he'd get weight when he was ready.
So his length grew?
Yes, he
But
stretched
really
out.
didn't put on much weight?
Well, I didn't weigh him, but he wasn't like a big chubby cheek child.
Did you have much contact with Cheyanne after Sterling's death?
Yes, I did.
What was your relationship like then?
You did say after Beth, right?
After that?
Okay. She ended up staying with us for a while after that and things like that.
During Sterling's life, did you buy things for him?
Yes.
What kind of things?
Anything I could possibly think of.
That's fun as a grandma to be able to buy
Yeah.
grandbaby things.
Toys, swings, bouncies.
You bought Sterling a bouncy seat?
Yes.
You bought Sterling a
Swing.
swing
Yes.
that ran by plugging in the wall?
Yes, I had one set at my house too of everything.
Did you buy blankets?
Yes.
Did you buy them clothes?
Yes.
You bought their car seat for them?
But no, I didn't. That I did not buy.
But they had a car seat for them?
Yes, yes. That was given to him by an ex-boss.
I'm sorry, by what?
That was given to him by an ex-boss. One of his ex-boss had given him that as a baby present.
After Sterling's birth, you also had a baby shower for Sterling, is that right?
Yes.
When was that?
A couple week or two after he was born, because we weren't expecting him yet.
You weren't expecting what?
We weren't expecting him yet, and she just got back, so we didn't have it planned ahead of time because we weren't sure when she was going to be around there.
He came a week earlier than expected, correct?
Yes.
All right, so you put together this baby shower a week or so after he was born, correct?
Yeah.
What types of presents did Sterling and Cheyanne get at that?
A normal baby shower present.
Such as?
Blankets, clothes, toys.
Was there also a diaper cake at the baby shower?
Yes.
What's a diaper cake?
Diaper cake is where you roll up the diapers and put rubber bands on them, and then you do it all up and put them in rows so it looks like a cake, but I guess it's recommended not to eat it. Sorry. I'm a little nervous. I kind of make jokes and talk a lot when I'm nervous. I'm sorry.
You're fine. It's big, right? There's a lot of diapers.
Yeah, you know, I take one of the bigger packs of diapers and put them up there.
And she took all those things home with her?
Yes.
And when she went to Alta Vista, she was allowed to take all the baby things with her?
Yes.
In fact, you wanted her to have everything she needed to be able to care for Sterling, correct?
Yes. Except for the stuff that was at my house. Of the same stuff.
All right, I'd like to talk to you about
Is this a transition?
it is.
Let's take our lunch break at this time. Resume at 1:10. Deputy Paylow, Reed, would you do me a favor? Just notify that we're exiting. He does right now already. Be seated. Ms. Timmons.
Ms. Harris, right before the break, we were going to start talking about August of 2017. When is the last time that you had Sterling in your care?
Beginning of August, which was over WAPSI days.
Is that how you remember that, because it was WAPSI days?
Yeah.
And if we have heard testimony that WAPSI days was the 4th, 5th, and 6th of August, do you have any reason to dispute that?
No.
WAPSI days is over a weekend.
Yes.
How is it that you had Sterling with you over WAPSI days?
Because I requested.
Okay, well, tell us about that.
We just went garage selling, put him in a stroller. It was nice. It wasn't really cold. So we went garage selling with him, and we had an outlet to him too. And my sister was with us and stuff, so just kind of had a family outing day.
Cheyanne had dropped the kids off to you.
I don't remember if she dropped him off or if I picked him up that day.
Regardless, you had the children that day.
Yes, I did.
And when you picked up the kids, did they have the things they needed, the diapers and wipes and all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
How long did you have Sterling and all that?
I'm not sure of that exact date. I know I had him all during the day. I can't recall whether I had him overnight also or not, that particular time period. I don't have any pictures of that because we were kind of busy doing things.
But you had him for an extended period of time,
Yes.
sometime during that weekend.
Yes.
And how was Sterling that weekend? I had previously asked you to provide some photographs, is that correct?
Yes.
May I approach you?
You may.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 93, 94, 95, and 96.
Any objection?
Oh, sorry, you're right.
Are those photographs that you had on your telephone of Sterling?
Yes.
State would offer 93 through 96.
Admitted?
Permission to publish?
Granted?
I don't have up on the screen Exhibit 93. Can you tell us when that photograph was taken?
At his baby shower.
At the baby shower?
Yes.
So that would have been probably 3rd or 4th week of May.
Yes.
Where are you at when this picture was taken?
We had the baby shower, and Ellen lives in kind of a housing apartment that has disability access and things, and so we had it there so that she could be included in it. So it's like a community room.
I see on the table that there's some wipes. Was that a present from the baby shower?
Not sure if they were his or if there were some presents from the baby shower. I'm not sure if that was a present or if that was just something there that we had came with.
Right, and there's some baby blankets there with Sterling. Those belong to him?
Yes, they do.
State's Exhibit 94. When did you take that photograph?
I'm not sure the exact date. I gave you the exact date when you took them off my phone.
Do you think that photo was taken before or after the baby shower?
After the baby shower.
After the baby shower?
Yes.
Would it sound right if that photo was taken on June 9th, 2017?
That sounds about right.
Right, in State's Exhibit 95. Do Do you know when that was taken?
Not sure exact date. We were outside, and that's the stroller that he's sitting in.
Is that a stroller that you had at your house for Sterling?
I do believe that's a stroller that they got as a baby gift.
So that was a stroller that Cheyanne had.
Yes.
You were outside with Sterling that day?
Yes.
Did he like to be outside?
Like to be just about anywhere. He's young, happy.
And if you told me previously that that photo was taken on July 15th, 2017, does that sound
That
correct?
sounds about right.
And then State's Exhibit 95, or excuse me, 96. When was that photograph taken?
The second to last time that I saw him.
The second to last time?
Yes.
So sometime between July 15th and August 4th, 5th, or 6th?
Yes.
And Sterling, in that photo, almost looks like he has a smile on his face. Is that why you took that picture?
That weekend he had started smiling, and so yes.
If Cheyanne had called and asked you for help, would you have provided it to her?
Yes.
You said that you bought her pretty much anything she needed with the baby,
If she called and asked, yes.
and you would have taken them back into your home and handed it to me.
Yes.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
Cross? You may step down. Can this witness be excused? Ms. Timmons,
Yes.
you're free to leave.